Okay, it's Nick here for the YouTube channel Green Wet Dream. You may be wondering why I'm showing you a couple of spoons in a plastic container, and well, it's part and parcel of what other people talk about as far as alternative energy is concerned. These are 4 soup spoons. They're wired together, and the wire is connected to a mains transformer. So I'm going to turn it on, and there's no sparks or anything, but we've got, I don't know if you can see that, but there's some bubbles coming up off the spoons. Now, that'll be a combination of hydrogen and oxygen gas. Now, if you go on the internet, you'll find plenty of adverts for kits which people put in their cars to assist in the fuel economy. And these comprise electrolytic cells, rather like what you see before me in terms of function, obviously not in terms of design. And their job is to produce hydrogen and oxygen gas through passing electricity through water to make the bubbles, and this is done in quite large quantities. Now, it's often advertised as water as fuel, and I think that's a bit of a misuse of the English language, because the fuel is quite evidently electricity. Alright, and the electricity then goes through a reaction which then makes the bubbles, so we can see whether we can get some popping noises. There we go. And the little popping noises that you can hear, or probably can hear, are in fact the hydrogen bubbles going pop. And actually, hydrogen is a flammable gas. When hydrogen is used in a environmentalist kind of manner, the electricity is generated via wind or via solar or any other variety of either photoelectric or mechanical means to then perform the electrolysis reaction we're seeing here, but on a different scale. When electrolytic cells are added to cars, it's the surplus quantities of electricity which are being made by the alternator and often sent through from the battery to go through the electrolysis cell, which is actually the fuel which then drives the electrolysis reaction, thus producing the hydrogen and oxygen gas. Alright, so if I was to consider hydrogen for alternative energy, I would have to find a way of, number one, separating the gases. Also, the generation of the electricity, the design of the cell, the way that I would then use the gases coming out. Some people, including on YouTube, have found ways of using the hydrogen and oxygen mix to do welding as well as do some forms of cooking. The hydrogen, of course, is one of the components of the wood gas that I've spoken about in a previous video. So, one of the things which come off via the pyrolysis, not electrolysis, but pyrolysis reaction of wood gas. So hydrogen, so it seems, is quite an important chemical, quite an important fuel in its own right, especially when we're considering alternative energy. Now, if I'm myself considering using hydrogen, my goal would be to use it for domestic usage. I wouldn't be wanting to use it for running it in the car. I don't do all that much driving, and of course, if in an ideal hypothetical world I'd be living off the land, I'd probably be spending all of my time managing the house and the land. So would I really need hydrogen to drive 500 miles a month? Basically, no. So my goal would be to try and find a way of using that for cooking as well as heating and hot water. And I've been researching a few ideas, so when I do finally make the electrolysis cell and sort out the plumbing, I'll then share with you how I plan to use hydrogen within the applications of heating and cooking and light and all the rest of it. Don't think I could use it for lighting. One of the biggest challenges with hydrogen is storage, which is another reason why wood gas and hydrogen are often done on gas-on-demand systems, because gas storage is problematic at times. Alright, just a few thoughts. Good fortune, God bless, and all the rest of that. Bye for now.